Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tory G here, and I'm here to talk to you about how I mixed Ride Slow by Aleckson in this new Mix with Mega session. Let's check it out.
You always do this, take control of my emotions and make me stupid. Create commotions in my brain and I can't help it. You keep coming in my life when you know you bad for me, and that's the only way that you could ever get the best of me. You made me let my guard down. I shouldn't let this happen, but I ain't even gon' stop it. Your love is so toxic. When we make love, I'm infused with your poison, but so I'm gonna.
All right, so check this out. Here's the session right here, you guys. So as you can tell right off rip, the session is going to be pretty minimal. And you know, again, the challenge was to make the song sound bigger than what was sent to me. You know what I mean? Try to make it sound very big. And you know, I feel like that was a challenge on my skill, and I hope that you guys get the same amount of enjoyment and challenge out of it also. So, as you can tell, we have here a 2-track instrumental. The artist actually really enjoyed the way the beat was mixed as is. It was my job to improve on the sound of that song, of the beat itself, right? What I did here is organize all my tracks based off of like like groups or categories. Vox group 1 is basically the lead vocal, background vocal 2 for all the extra wavy stuff, and overall vocal folder / bus to basically kind of tie in all the vocals together. And I hope you guys appreciate how that's been organized, because it helps me out a lot, quite honestly. To me, I really felt like the song needed some work. So as far as the low end goes, so what I did was kind of boost. I did a really awkward to make it kind of punch a little bit. I made a really awkward boost here, and it's actually not that much. 3 to 5 dB or 3.5 dB, right around 155 hertz, and the Q was pretty wide. I wanted to be very gentle, and then kind of cut a little bit also at 169. I just felt like it needed to kind of come out. But what it did was kind of make the beat sound a little bit more full. So I'm going to show you guys that.
Stupid, create commotions in my brain.
So in doing that, I feel like I gave the song a little bit more body. It just sounded, you can feel a little bit more emotion out of it. I also went back and used, for character, I used the Moog EQ4 to bring up some air in the high end where the kind of the claps and the hi-hats are. And that kind of gave it a little bit more, made it jump out and be a little bit more in your face. So check this out. To me, it kind of just made it kind of push those small increment push to the high end to kind of get it to kind of stick out for me. And that's what I really enjoyed about it. And that's pretty much how I did the beat. It was very simple. I just needed to get a little bit more out of it. And it was very easy to do that with just those couple plugins there. Next is the vocals, or are the vocals. Not much was needed to be done. Again, I separated all those in basically groups here. My groups in Studio One are basically these buses. That's how I do my grouping. I don't really use VCA faders anymore. It seems to just work out better here. So on the vocal tracks themselves, I basically let me change the view here. I kind of duplicated the settings on each track because I wanted very, very, very slight differences in the parts, right? So here's the main vocal here.
Do this, take control of my emotions and make me stupid. Create commotions in my.
So to get those tones, I used the Focusrite console, and I really like this on his voice. not only is this console smooth, it kind of matches the artist's voice. It's very smooth, very intimate, and I really like how that can get pulled out using this plugin. I high passed it a little bit, took down some of the low mid frequencies at around 316 hertz. Boosted some high end for some sheen right around 15K. And then I did another a low shelf right at 270 to kind of just balance out the vocal here.
You always do this. Take control of my emotions and make me stupid. Create commotions in my brain and I can't help it.
But it sounded a little bit too direct, too upfront. So what I did here was I added the filter audio stage, and I love this plugin. I might actually go ahead and buy it 100% aside from the mega bundle, because this bad boy here creates depth that I have never experienced in another plugin. So check this out. It's actually going to make the vocal feel a little bit wider, a little bit bigger without sounding too intrusive.
Do this. Take control of my emotions and make me stupid. Create commotions in my brain and I can't help it.
Man, it actually kind of makes it feel a little bit less I don't know, intrusive. That's the best word I could think about it. And so now I'm going to go ahead and leave that. And so I basically applied that to I believe I applied that to all these vocals here, so that each one of them sounded more consistent. So, and that's all grouped under the Vox Group 1 here, or you can name it lead vocal, however you want to name it. And so let's go to this part here from the transition.
Down. I shouldn't let this happen, but I ain't even gonna stop it.
So my favorite plugin right now is the BX Crispy Tuner. I wanted to fine tune this artist's vocals, Aleckson's vocals, because he didn't really need too much, but he needed just enough to kind of push it here. And I think that the BX Crispy Tuner did a perfect job. I chose to use the advanced mode because I could dial it in just right to the millisecond, and I really love that. So I'm gonna re-engage the reverb here. The reverb that I used was the unfiltered audio silo, and it is phenomenal. My favorite here is the geometry or the spatializer section, and changing the geometry to comments. It makes the reverb really feel alive. Seriously. So let's check this out. I'm going to go ahead and engage that, and we're going to listen to it.
You always do this. Take control of my emotions and make me stupid. Create commotions in my brain and I can't help it. You keep coming in my life when you know you bad for me, and that's the only way that you could ever get the best of me.
I just think it sounds great. I did a little bit of pre-filtering using the BX Digital, just to kind of roll off what was unneeded or too harsh up in the top end. Then I went ahead and basically copied all those settings to each one of those lead vocals, and then I added the I added the SPL de-esser, which does a phenomenal job of natural de-essing sounds, and then I added the Lendl preamp to kind of give it a little bit more presence here.
You made me let my guard down. I shouldn't let this happen, but I ain't even gonna stop it.
Very subtle, but when he gets into his more emotional parts, you can hear that drive coming in. All right. So in context, here we go.
You always do this. Take control of my emotions and make me stupid. Create commotions in my brain and I can't help it. You keep coming in my life when you know you bad for me, and that's the only way that you could ever get the best of me. You made me let my guard down.
Super nice, super sweet. Background vocals, the background vocals were done really well. So I'm gonna move towards that, and we're gonna listen to some of these here.
Way that you could ever get the best of me.
Very nice, very nice, very smooth. And this again, this is all done with the Focusrite console. So on the background vocals instance, I basically cleaned up the vocals using the BX Digital, and then on the bus slash folder track, I just did the most of the processing here. And by doing that, I basically created this pocket that all of the background vocals fit in this specific one, background vocal one, and they all kind of get controlled at the same time. All right. Same for background vocal 2 here. Let me grab this. Similar situation. All right. Similar situation. It sounds amazing.
I got it down. I shouldn't let this happen, but I ain't even gonna stop it. Your love is so toxic.
That right there is amazing. He did a great job harmonizing. All I had to do was basically dial it in with BX Crispy Tuner and adds a little bit of vibe with the BX Room MS or Rooms, however you want to call it. Fantastic reverb. And also the BX delay here, phenomenal. I really think this is one of the better delays that I have. My favorite is the ducking. Just get it out of the way momentarily so that the vocals can come through. And it's very easy to actually set up the ping pong effect. Super easy once you lock it into the tempo of the song.
Your love is so toxic. When we make love, I'm infused with your poison, but so I'm gonna OD on your body. I can't let nobody have it all. I can see right through your act, but I'm still
gonna go ahead and fast forward to the actual hook.
eat you like a dining, get you real, real wet, just so you can ride slow. When you ride slow, you feel amazing when you look back and reverse it. Baby, ride slow.
All right, I'm gonna talk about how I did the mix bus processing here. So everything was pretty self-explanatory, pretty forward here. So I really wanted to get like a lot of emotion out of the song and make it again sound bigger than it was, right? So what I did here on the mix bus processing was go ahead and put the Neode Big Owl. For some reason, the way I describe this plugin, it makes things sound golden. Like it just brings out a little bit of that vintage but necessary sound, right? So I'm going to show you what it sounds like with the Neode engaged and not engaged here. Let's check it out.
I might have some feelings too, but I cannot let them show. Am I gonna end up hurt or bleeding? Who am I to know?
So these settings were done in very minimal increments here. Because a little goes a long way with this plugin, and it really took this thing to the next level for me to move forward. I think what the emphasis here does is amazing, and the voltage, it really brings out some of that extra grit, but also keep it pretty smooth here. So the next plugin here that I use on the mix bus was basically some mid-side processing with Dyne EQ. What I did was use this to kind of knock out some boxiness and also some boxiness in the mid where the kick would be to kind of let the kick punch through. And I also did some control some boxiness on the side where some of the pianos and melodic instruments are. So check this out.
But I know that I'm in love with the way you write.
Very simple, very like dial, kind of intricate moves here just to get it to knock that down a couple dB here. And what that did was make space for me to do more work with the magnificent Bettermaker EQ here. So check this out. Also done in mid-side processing. What I did with this was basically increase the high end on the mids for smoothness, and then also do the same on the sides for smoothness, but depth. you'll hear it when I engage the plugin.
Have some feelings too, but I cannot let them show. Am I gonna end up hurt or bleeding? Who am I to know? But I know that I'm in love with the way you ride slow.
You really hear it with the reverbs and like the spatial aspect of the song. It really makes it sound 3D. This is an incredible EQ, especially in the box. Amazing job. And then one of my favorite compressors here is the SPL Iron. I say this is one of my favorite, but it might actually be my favorite compressor because I grab it for literally everything. And as far as bus processing goes, it's knocking down maybe 2 or 3 dB, and I call this plugin the meat and potatoes plugin because it just keeps the song sounding fat, make it sounds a little bit more very forward and very full, and you can almost not tell that it's doing any compression because it just sounds so good. My release is fast, my attack is fairly slow, and I'm using the silicon style type of compression, and what that is doing is a pretty quick compression with a pretty quick release characteristic, and I think it just works for this song.
We can talk about it tomorrow. Can we hold on to the moment and just never let it go?
I really like this one because it just really makes it so meaty. Again, the point was to try and grab the emotion from the song and move it forward, move it, make something big out of something so minimal, right? And lastly, on the bus processing for the vocals, I actually have 3 subgroups that basically have similar thing. There's a console plugin. I got a de-esser here on the lead. And then I also had another de-esser to kind of control the points where the background vocals and the lead vocals are combined at certain points. That kind of just helps control that. And I added the Noveltech character plugin. Super sweet, and untaught and not praised enough. This is a great saturator, and it just sounds amazing. So check this out.
I might have some feelings too, but
it just does something, and again, it's not very big movements. These are all cumulative movements towards the end result, right? So again, dying EQ to kind of knock out some boxiness.
But I cannot let them show.
I'm sorry, not boxiness, but harshness.
Am I gonna end up hurt up?
Right at 2K. That's one of the problem frequencies that everyone deals with. So that's a key frequency to kind of really keep your eye on. And then a trick that most people don't know to do is once you've kind of compressed the vocals, made them super even, made them loud, made them as pristine as you could, sometimes you lose a little bit of dynamics, which also kind of takes away some of the emotion from the vocals. So what you want to do is basically bring that back just ever so slightly. So a transient designer helps kind of bring those consonants back and those initial pushes of words back to kind of give it back some life. So check that out.
So while your hips moving in circles, when you ride slow, you feel amazing when you look back and reverse it, baby. Right.
So that's one of my little known tricks that I learned from, actually it should be very well known, but very few people use it. Use a transient designer ever so slightly on the vocal group, and you'll get or even a lead, and you'll get that emotional push back into the phrases. And that's all I have for today, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys checking me out. Check out the song Ride Slow by Aleckson, and I hope you have fun doing it your way with the Mix with Mega session. These will be provided to you in Pro Tools format, Studio One format, and plenty of others. Again, thanks for joining me. See you soon.